Reps push for transparency. New bill seeks clear portfolios in ministerial nominations. House of Representatives sounds alarm on flood risks. Lawmakers demand action to protect lives. And House investigates one of its own over alleged assault. Commit to accountability. Welcome to You and Your Reps. I am Victor Azu and I'm glad to have you with us. Let's delve in. In a bid to ensure clarity and purpose from day one, the House of Representatives is advancing a bill requiring that all ministerial and commissioner nominations from the President and state governors come with designated portfolios. Now, this move, which has passed its second reading, aims to streamline governance and boost accountability. Meanwhile, another bill to extend the retirement age for health workers is also making progress, signaling lawmakers' recognition of the need to strengthen healthcare sector.
The bill proposing that the President and state governors should attach portfolios when nominating ministers and commissioners received the support of lawmakers and consequent referral to the Committee on Constitution Review.
Before a nomination is being sent to the National Assembly, it must be accompanied with portfolio.
A situation where ministers are presented to you, you don't even know the portfolio and the qualification of the person, you are bound to start asking general questions.
I can still come on.
It was some heated debate before the second reading of the bill seeking extension of the retirement age of health workers.
Extend their service years from 60 to 65 years and 35 to 40 years.
It is proper to retire when you can go home and farm and do some other things.
The people that are living for Japa or whatever you call it, they are young men. People that are beyond the ages of 50, 60, they are ready to stay and sacrifice for this country.
Getting to the age of 60 and you want another age of 5 to be added, even injection syringe the person is going to handle, you see the hand will start shaking.
The eyes have it. To secure our health space, we need to have the experienced doctors in our midst, helping us.
The House resolved to probe erratic e-customs services and attendant revenue losses, among other resolutions.
Mandate the Committee on Custom and Excise to investigate the concession of the Nigerian Correctional Service modernization project and examine the frequent network disruption currently impacting the e-customs service delivery.
For the past 6 days, an unprecedented 18-kilometer gridlock between Lambata and Suleja has crippled the flow of traffic on Suleja-Lambata-Bida Highway in Niger State. Direct the Ministry of Works to conduct an emergency assessment of the condition of the road.
4 bills were passed at Thursday's plenary, including the bill seeking establishment of the National Metallurgical Training Institute, ONISHA. The House has adjourned plenary to 12th of November 2024 to enable committees carry out oversight to ministries, departments, and agencies of government.
The House of Representatives also passed a motion aiming to decongest custodial facilities across the country. Now, this motion was led by Chairman of the House Committee on Reformatory Institutions, Chinedu Ogah.
Reformatory institution, known as prison service before now, is neglected. And we refuse to understand that it's part of the national security. It's supposed to be integrated the way the Treaty Minister of Police, Director, Security, Defense, and others. Why it need to be treated so? Most of all those people are arrested by military, SSS, police, EFCC, are being remanded in the custody of correction centers to rehabilitate and reform before they reintegrate them back to the society. If these people are not properly reintegrated, the crime increases. But if more appropriation are done to take care of correction service, the crime in this country will drastically reduce. 1, there is much death in KB, death in Nasarawa and so many other correction centers due to hunger. No ordinary human being 750 naira will be fed. When you reduce VAT and tax from that, you find that it's not up to 600. Yes, it has been increased, but we are still waiting for proper implementation. The implementation of that increment you are looking to, but that is not enough. As a person, a plate of food now is almost about 4,000 something. Times it by 3 square meters is 12,000. But you are giving someone 750, 1,125 per day. Even if he's a hen, can he feed in such a amount? No. And these are people you are trying to make sure that they're not going into the crime. With the help of my colleagues and the mandate of the Speaker and the leadership, we are seeking for increase of the budget, increase of the ration, increase of the capital project. The capital project is that the Correctional Service started 3,000 capacity in each of the 6 political zones. None of those 3,000 capacity today is completed. And so many things that are wasted. That is why we have more congestion in each of the prison. A place that's supposed to accommodate 200, you are seeing 3,000 and. A place that's supposed to accommodate 1,000, you are seeing 4,000 and. How do we manage it? We can only be saved in all these things when appropriate budgets are being made for provision for correction service. Some of the staff have nowhere to live. No quarters. Their training schools, all the training schools are leaking. A situation by which, if not the effort of the chairman appropriation and others, that we're able to increase the capital to 14 billion, cannot even finish the project in Karachi. How much more they want in Port Harcourt? How much more they want they are starting in Umahi? How much more the completion of the one in Kano? How much more they want in the West? So that is a critical problem. And so many correction centers need to be relocated. Example, the one in Enugu, the one in Uyo. Uyo having the same fence with the government house. The one in Lagos, Ikoyi, is the heart of Lagos. The one in Taraba, having a fence with the government quarters. So, we are not obeying the act establishing that correction service because the act made it to understand that we must have a buffer zone in all those areas. And we are asking the executive to give a consent. Let them add more money to correction service budget for their welfare, for capital projects, for their salary, and equally the ration for the inmate. Any inmate that were trained, reformed, and fed, and they have a skill in those places cannot go back to the crime. Because you need to make him know that coming here is for him to change. But a situation by which none of those things that the act is stating is being implemented, we're increasing crime. And we use such money in buying more jets, more weapons, more this. Why can't we just take small and add in rehabilitating these people and none of them will go back to the crime? And the society will be very safe for us by engaging them. So that is the major issue, and that is why I moved the motion. And the motion unanimously adopted to increase the budget to 30 billion. But with the magnanimity of the colleagues and the leadership, they said we should try to make it more, that they felt the impact of what I'm saying. And I'm seeking that the ration should be increased from 1,125 to 4,000 a day per inmate. We have not even talked of their health, their clinic, drugs, and other things. It's from this capital project where you talk of the bed where they sleep and other things. Some of them have not even bed where they're sleeping. And we are asking for private individual to come. In Western world like America, Switzerland, correction centers are being managed by private individual. It's a business venture. Yes, I have to use this opportunity to commend the man that built a cell in Krikri, one-story building cell. We are urging such. Give these people education, give them skills, train them, so that as they're going out, they should be able to have something doing. Such things should not drive such person to a crime again. And that is only a way for us to go to this country to reduce this crime, banditry, kidnapping, all those things. We're already working with some people and working with the Office of Attorney General. We have had a courtesy call with the Inspector General of Police because the greater number of the problem of the people that are being put, both innocent ones, are police. That is why that we went to IG to plead with him. They should be appropriately scrutinize any offender before such person is being reminded. It will really go a long way because there is custodian and no custodian. There is some people need to be given a hard level to do without being in a prison. So we need to implement all those things to really help us. And I'm using this opportunity to appeal to the governors of each of the states. The acts have empowered them to build, construct, and manage so that most of these heavy things will not be on the federal government alone. If they come to implement such act, it's still going to do a lot of things to reduce crime in this country.
To be forewarned is to be forearmed, they say. In Nigeria, as flood season looms, lawmakers in the House of Representatives are pressing for that warning to lead to action. Now, with lives, homes, and entire communities at risk, the House has called on key agencies, the Federal Ministry of Environment, the National Emergency Management Agency, and the Nigeria Hydrological Services Agency to stand before Parliament and share their strategies for protecting flood-prone zones. Their goal is to turn early warning into early action, ensuring that all possible precautions are in place to shield lives and property before the waters rise.
Evacuation plans, provision of relief materials, and ensuring post-flood recovery efforts.
Meanwhile, a resolution was passed urging INEC to relocate its local government offices to neutral locations.
The majority of the INEC's local government offices are currently situated within local government headquarters or otherwise. This impedes INEC impartiality as enshrined in Section 6 of the Electoral Act 2022.
The House passed for second reading a bill seeking creation of a federal constituency in Nasarawa State.
To carve out Nasarawa Egon Federal Constituency from Akwanga Nasarawa Egon Wamba Federal Constituency.
The bill to prohibit and redress sexual harassment of students in tertiary institutions was passed by the House, now awaiting concurrence in the Senate.
We even introduced in strengthening the bill in the 10th Assembly, issues around body shaming. It's no longer okay for you to call someone, oh, that horrible student.
Away from plenary, Speaker Tajuddin Abbas played host to women groups that are relentless in their advocacy for passage of gender bills before Parliament.
By the time you come up with the gender policy through the constitution review, we would have gathered enough women ready to participate in the elections.
We should also demand that for every executive position, where there is a man contesting the woman to be his partner.
The Speaker assures Nigerian women that the 10th Assembly will make history on gender-related bills.
At last Wednesday's plenary, the member representing Bunza, Birnin Kebbi, Kalgo Federal Constituency of Kebbi State, Ibrahim Mohammed, also drew the attention of the House to the devastation caused by flooding in his constituency and its threat to food security.
I come from a rural constituency in Kebbi State, northwest Nigeria, particularly agricultural-centered community in Nigeria that has seen devastating rain floods over the years. Communities have been washed away due to these flash floodings, due to gully erosion that has been occurring over time. And the crux of the motion is to draw the awareness of government and relevant stakeholders into the need to not just look at alleviating the troubles of these communities, but look at the underlying causes, the lack of infrastructure in these areas that needs to be boosted to prevent further loss of very valuable economic land and pieces of the Federal Republic entirely. it's difficult. These people have managed to feed off what they farm for many years. Today, they don't have these farmlands. Everyone knows the rising prices of food items across the nation. So they don't have the food and they don't really have the means to feed. They have also lost a lot of their shelter. So a lot of these people, if you go to some of their communities, are outside or sharing makeshift huts made from nylon and tarpaulin. This is how a lot of these families have been surviving. It's not sustainable. There's no way citizens of the Federal Republic can be living as destitutes within their own communities. The motion I moved today was straightforward. It had the facts, some facts of the situation on ground, and members of the 10th Assembly are very aware of the plight of Nigerians, and they supported the motion unanimously without any challenges. So indeed, members of the 10th Assembly, their emotions were aroused and their attention, if they were not aware of what was going on in these parts of Benin Kebbi Gobonza. Today, they have been made aware and they have supported. Mr. Speaker, Right Honorable Tajuddin Abbas has referred the motion to the relevant committees, and I'll be on ground to push that, and all these committees do start taking action from today rather than tomorrow. And the good people of Benin Kebbi Gobonza will start feeling the impact in the shortest possible time.
Just as lawmakers push for flood preparedness, they are also turning an investigative lens inward. Representative Alex Ikwecheyi now faces scrutiny for alleged assault on a cab operator. Following a point of order by Majority Leader Julius Ihonwere, the House has referred Ikwecheyi to the Ethics and Privileges Committee, vowing to uphold their rules and maintain accountability within their own ranks.
The man in the eye of the storm, Alex Ikweche, exchanging banters with colleagues in the hallowed chambers. But the incident of alleged assault involving him and a cab operator, captured in a viral video, is not going under the carpet.
I have a responsibility to say that this House will not sit and accommodate any aberration. And I'm on my feet today to plead with my colleagues and Mr. Speaker that this matter is serious enough. It impinges on our collective integrity. It attacks the conscience of the average Nigerian. It derogates on the image and expectations of the public of what we stand for as a House.
Things were said, and those things I regret. I apologize to all Nigerians.
His appeal was very emotional, very touching, shows remorse. You know, I was touched hearing it from here. But that is not enough. I know you were touched as well. I know Nigerians watching him have seen a man that is remorseful. But our rules must be complied with. He should go and sit with our Committee on Ethics and Privileges.
Lawmakers debated and passed for second reading bill to amend the Banks and Other Financial Institutions Act 2020 to protect victims of fraudulent withdrawals.
My Bank A confirmed that XYZ amount of money has been removed from my account. I requested from my banker to let me know who did that withdrawal. Unfortunately, my bank told me they could not tell me the identity, that I should go to police station.
The burden should not be on the Nigerian consumer, regardless of his status. It should be on the bank.
A bill to establish the Armed Forces Farms and Ranches Scheme also scaled second reading.
To contribute meaningfully to the nation's food security, leveraging on non-active and active members of the armed forces.
The House adopted a motion on the need to light up host communities around the Kashimbila multipurpose dam.
Make adequate budgetary provision in the 2025 appropriation to ensure electrification of these host communities.
Relevant security committees of the House were mandated to investigate reports of gruesome killings in parts of Zamfara and Anambra states.
Generally, decorum has to do with acceptable conduct. But what does it mean in specific for the legislature and legislators? We asked Chair of the House Committee on Rules and Business, Francis Waive, to tell us.
In legislative terms, when we talk about decorum, we refer to the behavior of honorable members on the floor, particularly, but also outside the floor. To bear that name, that title, honorable, means that you are able to comport yourself with decorum, a good behavior that is acceptable by society. For instance, in standing orders, there are some specific behavior expected of members on the floor of the House. In Order 9, when we begin to discuss the rules of debate, if you go on to Rule 9, it talks about members not to stand on the way of the presiding officer. During sitting, all members shall enter and leave the House with decorum. That's to not making noise, not being loud. And our members to take the appropriate seats, do obeisance to the chair, and not to cross when another member is speaking. All those are behaviors on the floor that's expected. In fact, Sub 9 says that when a member is speaking, no member may converse aloud or make any noise to disrupt or interrupt him. But the one that I find more interesting is 11, which says that no member shall smoke, chew gum, or drink while the House is in session. So members are expected to be in decorum is defined in this on the floor. But much more than during sessions, it is also expected that members would comport themselves appropriately, befitting of the title they bear, honorable members. It also includes dressing. So members shall attend the meetings of the House properly dressed. That's sub 12 now. But then, generally in society, all these are also expected of members to carry themselves in such a way that begets respect, that earns the respect of society. All that refers to the term decorum expected of a lawmaker.
And that's where we leave it on this episode of You and Your Reps. Many thanks for watching. I am Victor, so I'll see you next time.